Hi, my name is Andrew Oddington, and I'm from the Regenerative Agriculture Association of Southern Africa. The aim of the association is to accelerate the adoption of regenerative farming practices and thereby build farms that are environmentally and economically sustainable. This short video is an introduction to the economics of regenerative livestock agriculture and why it is critical that we transition from industrial agriculture, a model that has proved itself unsustainable, especially for family farms. Since the mass production of synthetic fertilizer after World War II, the economics of farming has been getting worse for family farms, as more and more on-farm problems are resolved using off-farm purchases. The economics of farming has moved in favor of agricultural supply companies and away from the farmer. This failing economics has been thus far dealt with by economies of scale. Only really big farming operations can make it, thanks to scale. But scale doesn't solve the underlying problem. It just makes you stay afloat in spite of it. The only way to solve the problem is to change the business model, and the only way to do that is to spend less on inputs. And the only way to do that is to work with the free ecosystem services that healthy soil provides. So what is regenerative agriculture? Well, there are many definitions, and the scope of these definitions is very broad. But at the core of it lies soil health and farming in a way that optimizes your soil health and thereby your farm's ecosystem function. This, in turn, optimizes your farm economics. Ecosystem function impacts your farm in two ways: environmentally and the economics of your farm. In terms of the economics of our farms, there is a systemic problem with industrial agriculture. The system is stacked against the farmer, and it is stacked in favor of agribusiness. We need to change our way of thinking around our farms, around the business behind our farms. Farmers have been conned into thinking that producing the maximum yield or the maximum weight of an animal is what they need to strive for. But this maximum production model works for the industry, not the farmer. You don't find factories trying to maximize their output. They try to maximize their profit. We need to change to a business thinking whereby we strive for the optimal, sustainable profit per hectare rather than maximum production. To do this, we need to optimize farm ecosystem function. Every single parcel of land comes with ecosystem services. Ecosystem services are benefits that can be derived from nature, benefits that are derived from healthy soil. Effectively, they're an enormous subsidy. These benefits are not just for the landowner, they are for wider society. By restoring a functional plant soil ecosystem, we get healthy soil and we can effectively get inputs for free. This enables us to spend less on external inputs, and it also enhances the resilience of our farm to dry periods and extreme rain events. By doing this, we increase the farm financial sustainability. Industrial agriculture is still being pushed by many as the solution for the future. But the problem with industrial agriculture is that it is not sustainable economically for family farms. In the United States, family farms are under enormous pressure. Indeed, they cannot survive without subsidies and insurances from the government. This pressure has resulted in significant farm consolidation as people have moved towards scale as a solution. This situation has also resulted in significant rural economic collapse. Our farm economics is broken. We can't continue to do the same and hope for a different result. We have to change the business model. Buying land is not solving the problem. It is not working to maximize profit per hectare. We can only do this by increasing profit per hectare. There are two ways you can improve profit per hectare. The first is to decrease input costs. The second is to increase income. But why not do both? If we look at a business as usual scenario, we are faced with declining soil health. This is a serious problem, as your farming business is built on soil. This is the very foundation of the business. We are also exposed to climate variability with dry periods increasing and large rain events also increasing. Then there is the cost price squeeze. The cost price squeeze is when your input costs rise faster than the price of your products. In South Africa, input costs over the last 50 years have been rising at about 6%. If we look at the price that farmers achieve, this is rising at about 5%. That is not a pretty long-term picture. We need to keep our costs under control. And all of this results in decreased farm resilience and ultimately bankruptcy. We need to change to a new way of farming and focus on improving our soil health. This gives us resilience to climate variability, it decreases our input costs, and increases the overall resilience of our farm. And with that, maybe we can move onto this green line as opposed to the red line, with the potential return in the future being the difference between the two. An investment will be required in order to make this change. The livestock industry in South Africa is in trouble. Both farm ecosystems and farm economics are spiraling down. There is significant desertification across the country as veldt and soil conditions continue to deteriorate. All of this results in significant dependence on feed and medical inputs. There is also a significant inability to cope with increased dry spells. South Africa was described, or South African veldt was described in the 1960s by John Acox, the esteemed botanist, as being understocked and overgrazed. This situation has had a negative impact on the ecosystem of farms and the economics of farms. If we look at farm metrics, the most highly correlated metrics with profit are stocking rate, fertility, and feed costs. These three are, of course, all interlinked. But these are the ones we need to focus on if we want to change the business model. Regenerative grazing systems enable you to improve ecosystem function and biomass production, enabling you to increase your stocking rate, to decrease off-farm inputs, and to improve your animal health. That is doing both, decreasing costs and increasing income. This enables you to achieve your goal of optimizing your sustainable profit per hectare. Thank you for watching this presentation on regenerative livestock economics from the Regenerative Agriculture Association of Southern Africa. A farm being environmentally and economically sustainable has always been posed as being impossible. This is no longer the case. If a farm is not optimizing ecosystem function and profit per hectare, it will not be economically sustainable in the future.